To understand HTML5, you must understand what it solves. But since 1999, HTML 4.01 has been a standard for a long time. And since then, there was an increased desire for richer web applications from web users. So when I say richer web application, I mean more interactive website, and also the incorporation of audio and videos. They also wanted the same type of interaction with different devices. Before we go into any code, I wanted to take this time to talk about semantic elements. The word semantic is the study of meaning in language. So in our case, the study of meaning in programming language. So elements, we know what elements are. Elements are different tags that's in between the HTML tag. So semantic elements, what they do is they clearly define what they are to the browser. So HTML semantic elements help structure the code we create, making it more readable and easier to maintain. It also helps with accessibility issues for people with disabilities, which is a great thing. Non-semantic elements, such as div and span, these two tags, if I was a web designer or any other developers, when they come to someone's code and just see that standing alone, they won't know exactly what they are. Semantic elements. So tags such as form, table, when a developer comes and sees this in the code, they understand exactly what it is. They'll know that a form tag is something that is used for a user to submit information. And a table tag, they will know it's going to be something that has rows and columns. When we used to develop or create web pages, you would see something like this, a bunch of divs. I guess the only good thing about this, it has IDs to unique IDs to identify what each tag are. But with HTML5, there are new semantic elements to define each of these areas. As you see here on this page, the header, nav, section, article, aside, and footer tag are now created. This way, the browser will understand exactly what they are. Now we are going to create our document structure by using HTML, and we will structure our UI user interface by using semantic markup. On my left side, you see I have my Visual Code, and on the right side, I have my Chrome open. And this is just to let you see what I'm doing, and it will appear here. I'm using Go Live extension. So let's get started. I'm going to hit Shift exclamation mark. It creates my markup automatically for me. Now, the first thing that is always needed in a HTML5 document is you need to declare it as HTML5. And to do that, up here, you see exclamation mark doc type HTML. That's all you need. And real quick, let me link to my CSS file, which is in my CSS folder, main.css. Now, as we create our document structure, we're not going to be using any divs, what has been used in the past. So we're using the new semantics. So the first thing I need is my header. And the header, of course, it defines the header for the document or a section. So in my header, I'm going to, let's use a H2 real quick. Just put in my header using the H2 tag. And also we see, I guess, the navigations. Most of the navigations that we see in websites, they are on the top of the page. So let's do that as well. And we use our navigation tag, nav, and we're going to use a UL. Let's create our links. to home. Now let's hit save. Let's refresh this real quick. All right, there we go. So we have our navigation that's on the top, and we have the name of our site, and this is all in our header tag. So the next thing we need is the body, and we can use the section tag, and this section defines the section in the document. You can have multiple sections, of course, same as you can have multiple of any of these. So we have our section right here, and let's create, let's see, h1 tag. We're going to say welcome to our site. Let's create a paragraph. There we go. So great. Now, what else can you put in a section? You can put an image, and instead of just having an image by itself or using a div, there is a semantic markup called figure, and there we can put in our image tag. Now let me see the path of the one that I have. This is it. Let's copy that. There we go. Let's put something in an alt tag. Railway station. Save that. And we need to make sure it's correct path. Save that. Voila. So there's two things that I want to change. I don't like the size of this. It's too big. And as you see, also the alt tag is not working, and that usually works in IE, and I'm using Chrome. So first let's change the size. Hit save, like that. Let me use title, basically the alt tag, and it will pop up here. And there we go. We saved it. Railway station. Now, of course, if we needed to put in a caption for it, just to kind of help the users a little bit know what it is, there's a tag called fig caption. There we go. Great. Now we have our stuff that's wrapped inside of our figure. Now, if we wanted to put an ad, put it to the side, or put a quote, what we can use is aside. Let's do a quote. And we're going to use a block quote. A quote: I am what I am. And who is the author? You can use cite to basically single out who is the author, and it hit save, and there you go. Here's our quote. And when you use cite, the default is italics. Now, if we wanted to use different headers, for example, HTML semantic tag, to group them, you would need to use hgroup. So this allows you to group different headers. Now we need a footer. And for a tag, all you need is the footer tag. That's it. Let's put some content inside of our footer tag. Let's say my site 2019. And some websites have their address. So there is a semantic tag for that called address. 123 my street. Hit save, as you see. So here we have our first HTML5 document. It is good for you to try to understand each of these tags as they may appear in the exam.